amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed.
All right, thank you very much for still being there with us. It's time for us to begin our newspaper review segment. Of course, as we told you at the beginning of the show earlier today, that yesterday was a Black Sunday, considering the attacks carried out in or were at the St. Francis Catholic Church, killing scores of people, while many people were also injured. Not a surprise that that is dominating headlines this morning. But joining us right now is Lemi Ohuegbe. Lemi, good morning to you and welcome to Kaki this Monday morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Lemi, your face, says a lot, but we'll get to find out what's really happening. But I can already sense that it has to do with this tragic, development news. It's the lead story on this Nigeria or war, Sunday tragedy. That's how this Nigeria captions it. Murder in the cathedral. How gunmen from hell massacred, injured over 100 worshippers in Ondo Church. Akeredolu weeps as outraged Nigerians urge FG to track killers, and enemy calls for blood donations.
Let me, honestly, where to start from on this issue is, just give you the jitters. There's so many questions as to how this could happen, not in a place that has been, designated to be known for, where terrorist attacks occur frequently. It is during the daytime. It is not in the forest. It is not in the outskirts. It is not in the trenches of, the town. It is right in the heart of, the town, in the church, not at night, not during night vigil, but 11 a.m., broad daylight. Not only was this attack, successfully carried out, the perpetrators also escaped. What comes to mind when you heard about this attack?
Wow. Such a very sad incident calls to mind Fela's song where he talked about sorrow, tears, and blood. Then reminds me again of Sonny Okosun, of blessed memory also, who said, which way Nigeria, which way to go. A frog will beat me in a singing competition, so I won't be doing Nigerian Idol this morning. But he rounded off with, let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Nigerians are dying in droves.
This song was made decades ago.
Yes, that was in the 80s. Now, murder in the cathedral. You see, when this insurgency started, we had our chance to deal with it decisively and nip it in the bud. We played a lot of politics with it. I remember in the days of E.A. Jirika as chief of army staff, when he was going from home to fish out based on intelligence, the northern elites were quick to attack him and accuse him of extrajudicial killing. We needed to have come together to deal with it at once. But interestingly, there is a very popular, I don't know which philosopher wrote it. He said they came for communists and there was no one to speak. I was not a communist. They came for socialists. I did not speak because I'm a socialist. They came for trade unionists. I'm not a trade unionist. I did not speak. Then they came for me, and there was nobody else to speak for me. It is our failure when we are apathetic about the lot of some other people, and we sit back in our own vainglory. This is what happens. We have allowed a little beast grow into a monster beyond the proportion we can deal with, and it has become a problem. However, what we require is a strong political will. For the first time in maybe 7 years, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, for the first time, within hours of a tragedy, issued a condolence statement to condole with the people of Ondo State. For the first time. So it's commendable that in hours the President did that. He has not done that in 7 years. However, as Commander-in-Chief, does it begin and end with just mere condemnation? Akeredolu does not control the army. Akeredolu does not control the police force. But you could see how powerful a statement from that Owo tragedy was. Now, presidents all over the world take moments of tragedy to rally the people and to show the strength of the security apparatus. I remind you quickly of September 9, 2011, the popular 9/11. 9/11, yeah. When that attack occurred in the US, the president then was George Walker Bush Jr. And immediately he addressed the media and said, our enemies saw our liberalism and took it for weakness. Now they face imminent defeat. There shall be no distinction between the terrorists and those who abhor them. Even if you are sad and you are grieving and you listen to such powerful words, which he backed up, but our president sits like he is helpless and just simply says, let us, we condemn this is the act of barbarism, and there is nothing strong in his statement to show action. I remember Governor Akeredolu was firm when he came out and said, all of you vanish from the forest. You cannot remain in the forest areas. Come out.
It's good you made this fact, because there have been talks as to why or what. Why now? I hear Chris Uwando is already joining us, our virtual platform. Good morning, Chris. How are you? Good to have you with us this morning. Good morning, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning. I'm having a delay on the feedback, and I'm not hearing you well, but I can make do with sound coming from the other side. So, but good morning. It's nice to be here this morning. I'm taking feedback from the TV, not from the Zoom, so there might be some delay in my response.
All right, Chris, we're looking at what happened in Owo in Ondo State. Let's get your views on this, what many, including newspapers, describe as a tragedy.
It's more than a tragedy for me. This is the height of it. For some people to just take up to join to go to a church and engage in massacre, and that's what I call it, massacre. We heard that a bomb was detonated. That has not been confirmed, and then they went ahead to kill and disappear just like that. Is not only tragic, is the height of barbarism. And for me as an individual, this just sum up the true situation of level of insecurity in Nigeria for now, and which our leaders have over the years been saying that it has been practically tamed. But this is a fact that it's not just getting better, it's getting worse for us. For some people to just target a church, and I had somebody asking, why a church, why Owo, and what they said. Nobody can say the reason for that. But this is tragic. And I agree with Lemmy that the statement coming from the presidency doesn't hit me. By this morning, in fact, late last night, I expected the president to have had a nationwide live broadcast to Nigerians, if it's just for a minute, to condemn the act, to tell Nigerians that they should not despair, there is hope, and that he will do everything humanly possible to be able to get the perpetrators of this act. Not just a statement issued by Femi Adesina, his spokesman. And that, if you look at that statement is what they just do is just change the date. And that's what they've been issuing for the past 7 years. So there's nothing in that statement. But let me commiserate with the people of Ondo State, with the governor of Ondo State, and the people of Owo on this terrible act. And I pray that the souls of the departed will rest in peace. And we make sure that those behind this act are justice. But what do you expect? Our government will go ahead to, don't forget that the primaries for the APC will go on today, and we'll move on as if nothing happened. But this, for me, is serious tragedy.
All right, thank you, Chris. Although reports reaching us is that, that primaries might have been rescheduled to hold tomorrow. But you said something earlier, Lemi, about the fact that Governor Akeredolu has been someone who, has spoken truth to power, has been able to make decisions and stood on those decisions. One of such decisions was, him asking that herders in the forest in Ondo should vacate the forest. Words on the street in Ondo State is saying that this attack may not be far or may not be separated, cannot be separated from that decision the Ondo State government made. I think that was about 2 years ago now when that statement was made. Do you think there's any credence to these assumptions?
We can only make conjectures. But what is instructive is the fact that, one, the Southwest governors, led by Akeredolu very proudly, had been proactive enough to even go ahead with setting up an Amotekun security outfit that we could say that the Southwest was relatively peaceful. The level of peace that we saw in the Southwest, one cannot believe what now happened this time. But again, look at what the federal government, the president himself, and his minders did when Akeredolu made that position on. They fought him, they attacked him, they issued statements, they threatened. Look, except we are not in this Nigerian ship together for our common good, public policy at every point in time, especially when a country is facing existential threats by terrorists all over the country, the right thing to do is to cooperate. You look at what is the public policy by Akeredolu and his governors of the Southwest trying to achieve by saying people should come out of the forest. And the idea was, come out and be documented. Come out and be documented. Let's know those of you that are licensed by us to be there, so that if anything happens, we hold you responsible. But the federal government kicked and shouted and intimidated the governors of the Southwest, especially, and Akeredolu, who would ordinarily not be intimidated. What is the point? We must get leadership that is sensitive and responsible enough to know that the primary duty is to secure lives and property. And until government wakes up to that responsibility, it will continue to feel like people like Governor Akeredolu and the others are working against their own intents and purposes, whereas that's the right thing to do. And we must do documentation, because as you see, beyond the massacre in Owo are other levels of killings here and there that people take laws into their hands and kill. We were still smarting from Saturday's incidents, Friday to Saturday morning's incidents, where somebody was lynched in Abuja, in Lugbe axis of Abuja. And as we speak till now, nobody has been arrested because people are not documented. What is the essence of the NIN if we do not use this to link to people's mobile phones? As we speak till now, people are still able to make phone calls. How do terrorists make calls to families of their abductees? How do they make those calls? These are not being tracked. We are not, I think government is not decisive enough. There is no political will yet to deal with it. Otherwise, nobody has been tried and brought to book for terror.
Again, let me, many Nigerians will not be looking to the federal government at this point, considering the antecedents and the insecurity the country is already bedeviled with. This incident looks like it's going to have to, the governors of the Southwest are going to have to come together and find a way, because how they respond to this attack will determine whether terrorists have come to stay in the Southwest or not. I do know that you said earlier that, you know, governors don't control the military or control the police. However, this doesn't make the governors helpless. What do you expect Governor Keredolu and his, you know, his colleagues in the Southwest to be doing at this time, as you know, because what affects one affects all, particularly when you share a region?
Nigeria is a federation, even though not properly ran as a federation. But the governors are not helpless. What they need to do is to get enough funds and invest strongly in Amotekun, strengthen them, train them, invest in them. They are not totally helpless. What we appeal to the government of President Muhammadu Buhari is, when governors try to take proactive measures to help protect the lives of their people, if the government of Muhammadu Buhari will not support them by funds and by giving them intelligence and giving them people to work with them, then they should at least not stand in their way. Make it conducive enough for the governors to, through legislative processes, strengthen Amotekun in order to secure. We have the Southeast that has gone out of control. Southwest is still relatively calm until we were shocked by what happened in Owo. And if it is not decisively dealt with, I can assure you that where will we run to? Some of us sent our kids to the Southwest universities, to school, because we say it's safe. You think I can sleep with my eyes closed? It's not possible anymore.
Let's look at the statement which the governor made on Sunday. He says that we shall commit every available resources to hunt down these assailants and make them pay. That looks strong, but like we said and you've said, Akeredolu does not control the security apparatus. For Chris, this incident happened the attack took place for about 20 minutes according to eyewitness reports. Can we, you know, let the security agencies, you know, go in their response to this attack? For 20 minutes, no response, no. What do you have to say about the security response time?
Yes, thank you. First and foremost, let us look at the target. The target, first and foremost, is a soft target. Then also in Owo, the hometown of the governor, it didn't take place in any other local government but Owo. So you can be rest assured that this was a well-planned, coordinated attack, and the target was picked to deliver a message, probably to the governor, that don't think that you are safe, that even in your own hometown, we can strike you. And that to me is where the investigation should start from. Then on your question as to the about 20 minutes or thereabouts, yes, if you read some of the snippets here and there, we are told that this attack went on for about 20 to 30 minutes without any response. But you have to ask yourself, how well equipped the police division in Owo, how well it is. Because I read somewhere, and I don't know whether it's how true, and as journalists we're not supposed to speculate, but I read somewhere that that even the police station in Owo didn't have enough either vehicle to be able to convey the policemen in the area to the spot. But even if we don't forget that policemen are also human beings. if they find out that the terrorists have a more superior fire, it will be difficult for them to be able to confront them. That is one. And I also know that in each local government, out of the 774 local government we have in Nigeria, we have the civil defense, we have the DSS, we have the police, and to a large extent, we also have some elements of OWO. I applied that OWO route most often until this issue of kidnapping and this thing started, because that is a route you pass through. If I come from Lagos, I'm heading towards Abuja, you pass Akure, then your next place you hit is OWO, then before you start moving to Okene and Local. So, and I know that they have security points, especially military checkpoints. But let me also take this further, that there was also some time ago that I knew that there was some kind of issue between the military, especially the soldiers, and the government of Ondo State. I don't know how they resolved that. So you could see that there is a lot of loose end here and there. But for me, the response time was not good enough. One of the priests that survived said that they had to lock up themselves, and for over 20-30 minutes, there was no help until they finished doing what they are doing and disappear. Few days ago, the prelate of Methodist Church that was kidnapped in Abia State, in an interview, stated that there were certain information they had that certain elements said that they have practically circled the whole of the south, especially the southwest, along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and some other parts of the southwest, and they're going to attack anytime from now. That was a statement coming from a revered clergy person. I believe what he said because I don't see him lying. So for him to have said that, that's supposed to have been another effort that should be made by security agencies to make sure that most of these areas are now, that attention is shifting probably to the southwest now, and that we should try to have a much more robust security network within this period. But what's happening could just be a tip of the iceberg of what is going to happen. And I hope that our security agencies are up to it. And I agree with Lemmy, where the Southwest government also have to up their game by funding Amotekun seriously. Maybe we need to recruit more, because presently Southwest should be the safest part of Nigeria. And if this is happening, then there's serious danger. Those of us in Lagos are already panicking and don't know what will happen the next moment.
Lemmy, Chris saying, you know, those in Lagos already panicking and not knowing what, you know, what's going to happen next. And of course, referring to the primate that was kidnapped, saying that he had some information the southwestern region of the country had been, you know, surrounded by terrorists, and attacks will begin. And we're seeing that come to light. Let's just assume, Lemmy, that there's a possibility that the government wants to do better this time, considering the fact that Southwest is you know, still quite safe as of until yesterday, of course. What exactly would you expect the Nigerian government, the security agencies, to be doing at this point in time?
I expect that, one, the commander-in-chief must give matching orders backed up with action. It's not enough. Of course, we are going to hear in the next few days, he has summoned service chiefs, he has called the police IG and all that together. Then, some of those persons they've arrested, they must now put them to trial. Then I think they should drop this policy of the so-called re-radicalization of terrorists and giving them money, incentivizing them, and returning them into a society where they are not even being monitored. Because it's really terrible that you say these are terrorists, you now say after picking them, or when the security is narrowing in on them, zeroing in on them, they now say we have surrendered, we are re-radicalized and all that, and you absorb them into society. A society that really has not documented its citizens properly. So a terrorist is brought in and there is no monitoring. Even in civilized crime, when you say people are released on parole, they have parole officers looking at them and monitoring what they do. They go in at times, any time at all, to say, where are you? Let's monitor you. But this government will go bringing terrorists and treating them with kids' gloves and all. Government must be decisive. One, the human nature all over the world is same. If there is no consequence for an action, we'll continue to do that action, however bad.
All right.
So there must be consequence, and the consequence is by way of enforcing deterrence by ensuring that terrorists are brought to book decisively, no politics being played.
All right. Chris, Nwando and Lemio, we're going to have to leave it here. We want to thank you both, gentlemen, for being part of our review this morning, and of course, you know, just shedding more light on what happened in Ondo, the Black Sunday, 5th of June, 2022. So thank you again.
Many thanks indeed, gentlemen, for your time. Let's now join the Ondo State Police Public Relations Officer, Fumilayo Dulami. She will be speaking to us on developments as regards the attack which occurred in Owo, in Ondo State on Sunday. Good morning, Fumilayo Dulami.
Good morning, sir.
All right, thank you, Fumilayo, for creating time to speak with us this morning. Of course, you will expect that the first thing we want to ask you is if you have any update, or if there's been any headways made in apprehending the terrorists who carried out this heinous act.
Good morning once again. Of course, investigation has commenced since yesterday, so that we can actually unravel the mystery behind this attack. But for now, we can't give so much details yet until we are double sure of some things.
But
of course, we'll give updates on our press release on further information when we get out of this.
all right, so Fumilayo, I must ask you then, what are you willing to tell us then this morning, since you're here with us having this conversation via phone? What information are you willing to share with us at this point?
Hello?
Yes, Fumi, I'm asking what information you're willing to share with us at this point.
Okay. I think we should just inform the public again what actually happened yesterday morning. But while the mass service was ongoing, gunmen invaded the church, shot some of the worshippers. Of course, the police has been there. We have to bring in some of our experts too, because there is a forensic analysis. We've had people saying it's an explosion, it's fails, it starts. So there are some things we can't just come up and say this is how it happened. So we have to bring in experts who will, of course, in turn give us information and tell us exactly what happened there.
Now, or
But basically, there was an attack on the church yesterday.
Fumilayo Owo is a popular town. It's not a village. Many are asking questions as to the response time of the police. It's a Sunday. Usually the police provide some security cover for worshippers. What happened on Sunday? 20, 30 minutes, no response from the police. Or what exactly happened?
Well, the police for me, I would say the police in that area responded promptly. In fact, the Commissioner of Police and other senior officers had to even leave Akure to join them that same yesterday.
Okay, well, just like Ahizoje said, Fumilayo, that those who eyewitnesses said, and including some of the priests who were there, waited for about 20 to 30 minutes. There was no response, there was no rescue, there was no counterattack until these gunmen, concluded what they came there to do, which was to massacre people. And then they left. Is the police in pursuit of these people as of yesterday? Is there any kind of pursuit whatsoever to apprehend those who did this? Because I believe that there should be some immediate action that the police would have taken while during the course of investigation, or while investigation is going on. Is the police doing anything at all other than waiting for the investigations to be carried out by experts or opinion of experts until they act?
Yes. Immediately we heard about it. Aside from even worship centers, marketplaces, all government public places, we've deployed our men there just to ensure we do not have something like this again within the state, not just Owerri alone. Remember, we are working towards the safety of lives and property everywhere in the command. While we are waiting for expert opinion, investigation is ongoing, but of course we have issues of security within our access, within all the areas in those states.
I know not many Nigerians will totally agree with you when you say the police responded very promptly, looking at the fact that these persons escaped without any attack. But let's find out from you if there are any official figures, number of casualties, if the police has taken account, or what exactly is the number of the fatality.
Okay, for now we can't give number of casualties, but I can tell you lives were lost, people were injured. And of course, they are already in the hospital. Some are in the hospital, while some are at home. But I can't give you the definite number now.
Okay. Another question I would like to ask is, looking at these attacks which happened in the governor's town, many say it is strategic and that more of such attacks may be in the works. What is the command also doing to forestall these kind of attacks?
Like I said, we've deployed our men all around in those states, and we've beefed up security more than before within the command.
Fulani, I must ask.
We need to go alone this time, because we do not want such an occurrence anywhere in the state.
Fulani, I must ask if the police has what it takes, to deal with these kind of heinous crimes that the terrorists have carried out in Owo town on a Sunday morning while people were worshipping. It's a very, very baffling, crime situation, because many people are saying it didn't happen in the night. Owo is not a village. It's not on the outskirts. These people in large numbers came into the town in broad daylight without anyone questioning them. They were able to gain access to the church and murdered people in cold blood. That then makes, brings to the fore the capacity of the police in the state to be able to deal with issues such as this one. Do you have the capacity to forestall and to apprehend the perpetrators?
Yes, we do. It's quite unfortunate we had that issue yesterday. You agree with me that Ondo State is one of the most peaceful states in the country. And the police has been working well to ensure this step has been taken. We have what it takes, we have the capability to tackle this, and I assure you, by the special grace of God, all these people will be arrested and justice will be set accordingly.
All right, in your strategic plan, are you also carrying along the local, I call it security network, Amotekun? What is the relationship with the police and the Amotekun? Because ultimately it is about securing lives and property.
Well, when it comes to security issues, Ondo State Police Command, we work hand in hand with all security operators. We have good synergy with our sister agencies, the local ones, even local vigilantes, because we all are partners in progress and we all are working towards achieving the same thing. So we have a cordial relationship with every other security network in the state.
From the, the visuals, the video and interviews that our correspondents in Owo carried out yesterday, and people, of the town of Ondo State as well, who are speaking, are very upset about the situation. The people are angry, people are sad, and people are just not confident of what, the police will be able to do at this point. What can you do to douse, the worry and fear, while at the same time building confidence in the people that the police can actually, carry out the mandate for which it was created?
Okay, thank you. Of course, when issues like this happen, nobody is happy about it. On what the police is doing, we have to first of all get the true situation of things before we make a release. We've had people talking about explosions and so many things, and because of that, we have to bring in our own EOD, the experts, to go to this place and check if things like that are happening. People can attest to that our men are there, they are at the scene of crime, they are doing everything to ensure that we just want to keep, we just want to urge the people of Ondo State, please keep calm as we are doing everything within our power, within the ambit of the law, to ensure that these perpetrators are arrested.
We also expect some level of sanctions for officers who might not have been on duty on a Sunday. We know that Sundays usually the security is kind of on a low key because many say that the response, like I said, and those who were on ground to respond were not much. Is the command also going to take some actions on this?
Of course, when we have complaints like that, the command will take action on them, because people are supposed to be on duty. Those who are supposed to be on duty know themselves, and they are expected to be at their duty post, so that when emergencies, issues like this occur, they can quickly rally around others to protect the people.
All right, Fumilayo, Ehisuche asked what your work will be with Amotekun. Let me ask if there's been any collaboration so far since the creation of the outfit.
Yes, we've been having collaboration. We've had joint operations together. Not just with Amotekun, with other security agencies. We've been having joint operations together.
All right.
I said, we all of 1 year, we are working towards achieving the same aim. So we have a very good synergy.
Okay. To what extent is your synergy? I ask because, you know, these are locals. A lot of them are familiar with the area, familiar with the forest and everything. And I'm just wondering, what is the strength of your collaborations? And I'm looking at what was the intelligence around Owo town before then? What role are they playing for you or with you, or what is the role of intelligence gathering in the efforts to curb, you know, crimes in the state?
We have a very strong bond with any security agency you can talk about. When I said we all are partners in progress, we all are security stakeholders. And from crime, we've been working cordially. I said the relationship has been very cordial. So, and with what has happened, even since that same yesterday, all hands have been on deck to just ensure that these people, these perpetrators, are arrested.
Okay, let me rephrase. I want to know what intelligence you had before Sunday. Was there any intelligence gathering? Did you know that this attack was going to take place? And if you didn't, did you sense anything? Because one of our editors, newspaper editors we talked to just before this interview, did mention that the primate that was kidnapped, you know, a few weeks back, when he was released, mentioned that information that he got while in the captivity of his abductors was that they were surrounding the southwestern part of the country and that they were going to begin attacks pretty soon. And that has come to happen even now. Are the security agencies, including the police, aware of this? And what investigations or intelligence do you have to either refute this or to act on it?
I won't be able to give a direct answer to that. I know the Special Intelligence Bureau of the Command has been working, and when they have such an intelligence, there is a way we go about it. We don't have to make it something public, so I can't really give an answer directly to that.
Let me just ask you before we let you go, what people should do in situations like this? You know, the magnitude of this kind of attack, you reach out to the police, or is there any other thing that, you know, people should do when they have this kind of situation, so that we can begin to see how to arrest and not just allow this person's attack and leave?
Okay, thank you. Please, we have this matter in those states that when you see something, say something, don't just keep quiet. When issues like this happen or occur, if you have any information, you can send a text to the police, you can walk up to us, and as much as possible, we urge our people to please stay safe. When issues like this occur, or you have an information about something like this, walk up to the police, walk up to any security agent, and give this information to them.
I know the police is, like you said, going to be doing a lot, but what what other activities or what things or what should people be doing themselves to support their security? Like looking at the church premises, I'm looking at the fact that I can't really see barbed wires or things that could probably deter maybe people who want to attack and easily leave. Do you think that there are certain things that people should begin to do to also protect themselves from attacks?
I think basically we should be security conscious. When you see strange faces around you, ask questions. Of course, this is a worship center. Anybody can come in to worship. But most times we know ourselves. Church members, they know themselves. When you see strange faces, you can just walk up to them, ask questions, rate them. We all should be, when it comes to security-related issues, we all should be at the last. That's one. We all should be at the last. And like I said before, if you suspect anything, if you are not comfortable with a particular person or a situation, you can inform the police or any security agency.
All right, Funmilayo, I know the police has a lot of work to do in that area for people to walk up to the police and give information, because Nigerians are usually weary about...
You can send a text. It's not necessarily you go to the station. You can send a text. You don't need to put your name. You don't need, just give us the information.
Okay, so what are those numbers that are available for people to send those text messages to? Do you have, the number that you can share with us?
Yes, we have some numbers, but the emergency number I can't say I have it off us. But we have Twitter page too that you can follow. Just send us messages. But of course, I think we are the correspondent of your correspondent. I will get back to you. The number will be sent to you. Okay.
All right, Funmilayo, the eyes of Nigerians are on the Ondo State Police Command, hoping that, the police can help make sense of, this senseless massacre that took place in Owo on Sunday. So, our fingers crossed. We're hoping that you'll be able to solve this problem.
Yes, we know the eyes of Nigerians are on us, and we will promise that the special grace of God will not disappoint.
I'm hoping that very soon we'll have more information on these issues. Many thanks indeed, Police Public Relations Officer on Ondo State Police Command, Funmilayo Odunlami, for your time this morning on Kakaki, the African Voice.
You're welcome.
All right, you're still watching Kakaki, the African Voice. We'll be right back after this break. Do stay.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.